Hi, and welcome to another episode of My YA Book Nook, a podcast dedicated to connecting with YA readers and fulfilling its mission, growing YA book love. Happy Valentine's Day! You know I had to do something romance related today, and the topic is To All the Books I've Loved Before, so I'll be discussing To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Before we get started, let me know what your favorite YA romance book is. It would be so hard for me to answer this question. I do read a lot of YA romance, so honestly, I'm not sure. But today I'll be discussing To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I think this book was just so sweet. It's definitely one of my favorites. I've read this summer I've turned pretty, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, I did not love it too much. I just thought it was a useless love triangle, but To All the Boys I've Loved Before has a great storyline with amazing characters, and I'm so excited to tell you all about it. Let's start off with the summary. To All the Boys I've Loved Before is about Laura Jean, who has never openly admitted her crushes, but secretly wrote love letters to each of them. 5 in total, whether that's a boy from camp, the one living across the street, or her ex-best friend's current boyfriend. These letters are signed, sealed, and addressed, but safely stashed away in a hat box under her bed. But one day, to Laura Jean's horror, she discovers that all of her letters have somehow been mailed out to each of the boys, causing her past crushes to confront her about what they received. As she learns to deal with these past loves in person, she learns that something good could come out of these letters after all. This plot was really engaging and fun, especially when all the letters get mailed out. These letters have been written over various years, and obviously it would be embarrassing for the recipient to read it. She writes each letter in order to let go of the love. She's always been content in knowing other people are in relationships, but she's never truly had one of her own. I think this book kind of mirrors something subconscious we might all think when we have our own private habits. What if this gets leaked out to the public? Well, in Laura Jean's case, all of their past crushes got these love letters while they're in high school. Imagine that happening, along with the confrontation from all of them. I would actually die of humiliation. The main plot is that one of her letters goes to Josh, who is her sister's ex. She's always been a little bit in love with Josh, so of course she writes a letter to him. Another one goes to Peter Kavinsky, Laura Jean's first kiss. These two end up fake dating at the beginning of the book. Peter to get over his ex, Genevieve, and Laura Jean to get over her crush on Josh. Even though it's fake, their relationship is still really cute. They have a list of agreements so they know where things stand, and they push things just to the limit of faking it. Peter's friends also really love Laura Jean. I love the fake dating trope. Before reading To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I haven't really experienced that trope, but honestly, I really love it because there's so much anticipation, and I feel like the chemistry is even better when it's fake dating. It's so engaging and fun. I also loved the family relationships in this book. Laura Jean's mother died when she was young, but her sisters and her family have a great family together. They don't speak about Laura Jean's mom that much until the second book, which I feel like when they do discuss it, it really does tackle the struggle of dealing with the death and absence of the parent. Laura Jean always wonders how things would be different if she had a mom to talk to, if she had a mom to comfort her. In the first book, though, they don't discuss her mother very much. But there is so much support and love in the family. It's really heartwarming. They have the sweetest family traditions. Even though this might seem like a really small detail, I think it really made the book so wholesome and caring and loving, and I think it just added a lot to the book in general. I really love the characters in this book. So the main character is, of course, Laura Jean. I feel like she's sweet, strong, and loyal. She's a great motherly figure to her little sister, Kitty. She's always doing things for Kitty's PTA events, and she's very starry-eyed and dreamy. Many people say that she talks and acts like a little kid. I can't disagree with that, but I feel like her personality is very important to the storyline. It's definitely not like she's immature, though. Speaking of Kitty, I loved her as well. She's so fiery and mischievous, chaotic even, but she's one of my favorite characters. obviously has the ideal personality of a younger sister. She's also very important to the storyline. I don't want to spoil it, but she is an important part. There's a pretty cool spin-off TV show that's pretty popular right now, Exo Kitty. I think if you want to fully understand the show, you should read the books first. This series does have movies for them, but of course, reading the books are better. All three sisters, which is Kitty, Lara Jean, and Margot, have an amazing bond and relationship, which I love. This book had been on my TBR for a long time because I had heard so much about it. I saw it as one of those YA must-read classics. I wouldn't say it was something completely outstanding, but I think it was very sweet and wholesome. I don't really love that it's a series, honestly. I just finished reading the second book, which is P.S. I Still Love You. And I think a whole series for this is kind of unnecessary. I think this should have been a standalone. I think it would have been more interesting that way. I feel the same way about like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think those don't need to be extended, but that's just my opinion. And that was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. The perfect fake dating trope with a super engaging and fun storyline. This is definitely a very unique romance book. I haven't read anything like this before. If you're looking for a sweet, unique romance with just the right amount of anticipation and excitement, definitely check this one out. If you like this podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Spotify. Tell others about this podcast so we can grow book love together. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks.